Long time no see, everyone. What's going on? All right, what have we got here today? I'll tell you what have we got. So, a girl proposing a guy. Wow, sounds crazy. No, it's not crazy. We'll get into that right now, folks. All right, so according to some studies, 2% or possibly 5% or less than 10% girls have proposed a guy. Wow, the numbers are really small, right? Why is that? Why is that girls do not propose to guys, right? Okay, so we'll get into that. So, one of the main reasons, right, folks, girls do not want to propose to guys is, number one, is love, okay? We all know what that means, all right? So, according to girls, right, if you talk to girls, the girls will tell you, if the guy really loves me, right, he really loves me, right, he cares for me, he should come out there, buy the ring, and propose me. All right, sounds fair, right? I mean, I'm a guy, can't think for the girls, but it makes sense, right? Think about this, right? So if Lindsay wants to get married, she expects the guy to come and propose her. Why? Because if he really loves her, right, he really cares for her, and he really wants to marry her, and he really wants to spend his life with Lindsay, then he should possibly, yes, makes sense, come out there, buy the ring, right, and propose her, right? Because it's really a man's job, right, to, I guess, go out there, buy the ring. I don't know. Well, Sears is closed now. Kmart, that doesn't exist. Macy's, online, or walk into any major cities, right, folks, here in the United States of America, and you could probably find a store where you could buy a wedding ring and go out there and propose to the girl, right? So, again, it goes back to love, right? Two, again, like we discussed, it's a man's job, right? So the girls expect, hey, it's a man's job, he should do this, right? Let's look at point number 3, right, folks? And if a girl decides, let's just say Lindsay, right, she wants to propose this man, she wants to marry him, most likely her friends, family members, or some of her maybe co-workers, right, will turn around and say, hey, Lindsay, what's going on? Are you crazy? Why are you proposing him, right? It's really his job. It's a guy's job. He should be proposing you, right? Because that's just the way it's portrayed, right? 3, folks, society, right? I'm talking about here in the United States of America. I can't speak for any other country, right? It's always been the traditional way, right? I'm not saying it's good or bad. Maybe it is bad. The man always goes out there, he proposes, and he makes that first step in proposing to the girl, right? So that automatically puts the numbers going down where women do not really want to do it, because historically it's always been traditionally, right? Society expects the man to go out there and propose to the girl. So now let's look at the positives and possible scenarios that girls are possibly even scared of, right? So what is that? Well, rejection, right? So now, I'll give you an example. Alexandra, she wants to marry this guy. She is really scared that, hey, listen, she goes out there and she proposes the guy, and he says, oh, I'm not sure, Alexandra, I need time, I need to think about it, give me some time, right? One of these excuses men love to make to postpone or push the marriage away, right? So now what happens now? So now Alexander goes out there, proposes him, and he says no. Well, kind of maybe it's embarrassing, or maybe it's not embarrassing, right? Now, again, depending where you're proposing the guy, if you are planning to propose, a girl is trying to propose the guy in a shopping mall, okay? Or, I don't know, by the beach in the summertime, or possibly waterfront or some park, a public area, trust me, folks, a lot of people are going to look at you. Oh, I'm talking for the girl. People will start probably recording that. And if the guy says, hey, Alexandra, I don't want to marry you, well, at that point, yes, I kind of understand that could be kind of embarrassing, right? Because he said no. But dude, here's the cool part, right? Think about this. If the guy tells Alexandra, fine, all right, come on, Alexandra, put the ring on. I'm ready. I want to marry you, right? Hey, guess what? You got what you wanted, right? That's what you wanted, right? You were looking and you were waiting for all this time to get that ring. But guess what? You made the first move, and guess what? He said yes, and he's saying, hey, put the ring on, and you exchange rings depending upon how you're planning to do it, right? So that's another tricky topic, right? Is Alexandra just buying the ring for herself, and she's saying, hey, put the ring on me? Or two, right? She is putting the ring on him, right? And then she also has another ring for herself, right? So she's putting the ring on the guy, and then she says, hey, sir, put the ring on me, right? So two-way, kind of a tricky topic, right? So very difficult to say that, right? And that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of girls are not doing this, because it seems to be kind of really difficult, embarrassing, maybe frustrating, but also you have a lot to win, right? Thinking this way, you get your answer, right? Now thinking this way, right? Now the great part about this is, one, think about this, right? You're freezing your eggs, right? You see so many girls these days, they freeze their eggs, right? Because they are not able to get married, right? And it costs, if I'm not mistaken, folks, again, I'm not a doctor, but it costs from $10,000 or $20,000, right? And if you work for a major company, it's great. Most likely, most of that stuff is covered. If not, that's a lot of money you're gonna be putting from your pocket, right? To get your eggs frozen. Why would you waste your time freezing your eggs when now you find out? Hey, you go to the guy and you tell him, for example, Mr. Kamal, do you wanna marry me? And he says, yes, I'll marry you. Or two, he says, no, I need to think about it, I'm not sure, right? And this is it, you move on. This is incredible, folks. And guess what, folks? Let me tell you something about guys. To a man, you gotta talk to him like a man, okay? What does that mean? All right, so men like to work with deadlines, right? If you're gonna go out there, be straightforward with him and tell him, listen, Kamal, I love you and I wanna marry you, I wanna have 7 kids with you, great. 1, he accepts it, or 2, he says, no, I'm not interested, or whatever excuse he makes, and you're done, which is great. And there's nothing wrong in that, folks. I don't think it's crazy at all, right? You move on with your life. You don't have to worry about freezing your eggs. You don't have to worry about holding and waiting that day is gonna come where he's gonna come with that great ring and say, hey, Alexandra, I love you and I wanna marry you. Why would you waste your time doing that? You can move on. This is your golden chance. Think about this, right? You don't have to worry about anything else. 1, he says no, he makes excuses, say goodbye, move on to the next person. Do not waste your time or energy on this guy who has little interest in you, right? Or who does not even care to accept you, or it's been such a long time that you don't even want to waste your time with him, right? You move on to other guy who wants to spend time with you, right? Who possibly wants to marry you, right? Who possibly wants to have kids with you. Maybe he has similar dreams like you, right? So folks, a girl proposing a guy is great. And I think this would be a great opportunity for the girl to get the direct answer and wrap up this whole thing within minutes and get out, right? But folks, let me know what you all think about this, right? Is it still acceptable for a girl to propose a guy? And if it's not acceptable, right? Why is that? Is that what I discussed earlier? All those points I discussed about like rejection, society, he loves me, or just something else maybe, right? There could be different, analysis of what people might think about a girl proposing a guy. Folks, thank you so much for watching. And if you like what you see, please press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Thank you.